Stand by for an urgent bulletin.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz.
I don't get it. I'm flustered. It's like we're talking two different languages. My God.
Now I'll explain it so even you can understand it.
Jeff Lutz.
Are you okay? You might need to go with Duda to the doctor later.
In an insane society, the sane man must appear insane.
And Jason Duda. For today, anyway.
True, I got to give him a point there. Although it was wrong, he's doing all right. I'll let him leak out for a little while.
Me so sale. Oh, so.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Strap yourself in and feel the G's.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a Friday edition, the Bob and Jeff Show, KFH Radio. Bob Lutz, Jeff Lutz. We're doing the three-man booth again.
Weren't we supposed to have pie?
Pie?
Yeah,
Jason Duda with us.
Isn't that why we came?
Let me intro the show.
I don't care about all that, but go ahead, whatever.
Max Power Producing Engineering, 869-1240, the IHOP hotline. Apparently, Nick from Chicago can't make it today.
What's up with that?
We're here under false pretenses.
Is he really not coming?
He's really not coming.
Nick from Chicago? Oh boy. What do you got going on?
Well, maybe he's got something going on, Jeff.
He's got everything going on.
People have stuff going on sometimes. Sometimes stuff pops up. It's just the way it works.
I had a lot going on today.
Like what?
Oh, of course you did.
My wife, suddenly her eyes are bad. Had to take her to the eye doctor. Had to bring my laptop over here to Tony this morning. Get over to the eye doctor on Ridge Road. Meet a guy about a sprinkler system at League 42.
Oh, boy.
It never ends.
Oh, it's crazy, isn't it?
Tell him.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm trying to say.
Like people don't have anything to do.
No.
Well, how's your wife doing?
I hope well. We gotta see what's going on.
I almost forgot we were over here today until my friend reminded me. I was going to go to your house for sure.
Who's your friend?
David Michael Hahn. We had lunch today.
Do you have any other friends?
Doesn't seem like it, but he fills a lot of emotional voids for me, so it's all good.
Emotional voids.
Yeah, we're those kind of friends.
Okay.
I mean, you got to have a friend or two like that, Duda.
Well, Duda doesn't have emotional voids.
No, it doesn't seem to. He was
He's fine.
He was in a little bit early today, meeting with our program director.
I was.
He was
Apparently.
not. They were talking in the hallway.
That's
they
a
had
meeting.
some high level something
some
going
serious
on.
stuff, and it's just going to stay between us. That's how I operate.
I'll
Well,
ask
that's
him.
good.
I'll ask Tony later.
Yeah, he's not going to tell you.
I hope things go well for you.
Well, I don't know if they're going to. Well, we'll just have to wait and see.
Boy, the Olympics are winding down, and I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I hate
I've
it. We don't get
enjoyed
this
them.
for another 2 years, and we don't get the summer again for 4.
I've probably wasted way too much time watching the Cardinals rather than the Olympics. But I've watched a decent amount of the Olympics. I won't say I've watched as much as I wanted to. But the Cardinals, why am I watching the Cardinals?
I don't know. That's a good question. I've been watching the Olympics. It only happens once every 4 years.
Well, and your
Take it
country
in.
doesn't do anything.
Oh, we're the fastest team in the world.
28
Fastest
medals.
team in the world.
Has anybody
28 medals.
Won the 4x100. We are considered the fastest team in the world.
'Cause
Noah
we got,
Lyles won the 100.
We got disqualified.
Doesn't matter. You didn't win.
You know we would have.
No, you wouldn't have.
You got fewer medals than the Netherlands, for crying out loud.
Yeah, well, as long as we stay within 10 times of what you guys get, we did good. You have 10 times the population that we do. That's how I look at it. So do you have 10 times more medals than we do? Obviously not, because you're not saying anything.
There's a more pressing.
Can I just say this about Canada?
You can say whatever you
It's
want.
a weak country.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Where do you get that from, I wonder? Now I know where Jeff gets it from every
Where
once
I
in a
get
while.
what from?
Yeah, it makes sense. It's
I don't
all coming
insult-
into fruition.
I don't
All
insult
sitting
entire
here
countries.
because the Olympics are on.
Have you heard how I've been talking about some of the ladies in the 15,000 meters?
Yes.
I love some of these countries.
15,000.
It's 10.
10,000,
Well,
whatever.
his eyes are going elsewhere. That's all right.
We
The kid's doing
Max
just
and I
fine.
were watching before you guys got here the heptathlon, and the women running the 800 meters, one of the events required in the heptathlon. And I contend that of all the events in the Olympics, the 800 meters is the hardest. because you have to run it full out, especially in the normal 800, not the heptathlon. But these girls,
It's not easy.
these girls were dying after that.
Absolutely. Well, how about this? This is their last event, the 10,000 meter. In
No,
the
it's brutal.
heptathlon, you go
That's the
through.
last track event?
No, it's for the heptathlon, I believe.
Oh, this is still the heptathlon?
Yeah.
Now this is a 10,000
Or decathlon
final.
or whatever.
It says
No,
women's 10,000
this is
meter
the 10,000 final.
Oh, this is just the 10,000?
And I think the heptathletes run the 5,000.
they run. Is that what they do? The
I
last
think
one?
so. But who am I to correct a Canadian?
Yeah, no.
I mean,
well,
we'd be better off if
we're
we
okay.
corrected more Canadians.
probably, but you're not gonna, and it's okay.
Quick question. Has anyone ever been no-hit both ends of a doubleheader?
Nobody cares about the Guardians.
I'm just asking.
You're a terrible team now,
Well, we'll see.
and they're going to talk about. Get me here.
Okay.
They're going to talk about this team folding because if I feel it in my bones.
Why are we talking about them folding and they have the same record as the Orioles? Why is that fair? Tell me.
The Orioles aren't playing great either.
But no one's talking about them folding.
No, because they have enough to hold on. At least they'll get to the playoffs.
The Guardians have a better record than the Dodgers. No one's talking about the Dodgers
Because they're
folding.
not playing terribly right now. When you get to August and you start showing your weakness,
Bad managing, isn't it? They didn't pace themselves. They didn't figure out how to get through the grind of a 162-game season.
looks like their pitching's falling apart.
No, their pitching is going to be
He can't
fine.
take it. He can't take
Their
it.
pitching will be fine.
They just gave up another bomb, just so you know.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
3-0.
3-0 Twins.
Jeffers just hit another bomb.
Good God.
Santana hit a bomb 2
Yeah, I
innings
know.
before
Shut
that.
up.
Their pitching, that's all you were talking about earlier is how good their pitching was. Their pitching
Well,
is
not
not there.
Cantillo. Cantillo's not going
Well,
to be
you got to
there.
accept reality. I'm not going to get on this show every day and try to soften the blow for you.
I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need that. This is Cantillo's last start. We've seen Carrasco's last start. I told you what the rotation is moving forward, whether that's an excellent rotation, a good rotation, a bad rotation. It's at least a major league rotation. So let's see how that performs, and we'll move forward from there.
Well, good luck. I'm willing to call my team what it is. Very average. I don't believe the Cardinals have a snowball's chance to get to the postseason. In fact, I think they'll struggle mightily over the next 3 weeks because their schedule is really difficult. They go to Kansas City tonight. They play
Hope you
them.
get blasted.
They'll get beaten by the Royals. They're not as good as the Royals. Jason, are you listening to me talk about my team?
I am, and you're yeah. I can appreciate that.
I hope you do appreciate it because why be defensive about your team? You got to call it like it is.
I would hope you could. I do.
And I've never understood that about Jeff.
About what?
The ups and downs and the defensiveness and
You need to calm down about my team. You want to hear an interesting stat that I uncovered
No.
today?
Oh, I do.
Bobby Witt is hitting 196 against fastballs on the road and 379 against fastballs at Kauffman Stadium. Please explain that.
Can't explain it.
Can't explain
But
it.
he also did. He was on the road. His last road trip, he went 14 for 38. So that's hitting what 350. That's not bad.
Okay, but can you explain 196 against
Well, can you
fastballs?
explain?
So now-
you can
now
break down. Baseball has so many different stats to break down every single one. You find one out of 3,000 stats that they have, and we pick on that. It's ridiculous.
I've never been more ashamed of you
Why
right
is
now.
exit
That's
velocity at home
ridiculous.
is 101
Your-
and 96 on the road?
Your team is struggling. So now the Royals must be cheating.
Well, they must, because you just said no explanation for that.
There's a lot of baseball
There are no logical
stats.
explanations except for
What's the
something's
beauty of
fishy
baseball?
going on.
well, how come then? And how come maybe just more comfortable hitting at Kauffman Stadium? How come you look
Sees
at
the ball
NBA?
better.
Why you
Against
look at
fastballs.
Why you look at NBA records? Why are they so much better at home? Are they all cheating?
I don't know that that's true.
But look at their records. Every team, just about every team, is way better at home than they are on the road.
How is a fastball? How is a fastball different on the road than it is at
Maybe you
Kauffman
see it
Stadium?
different. You see at Kauffman Stadium, you're used to seeing it from the same backdrop than you are at a different stadium that you see different every single day.
Who knows?
Interesting.
It is
who knows
interesting,
the
isn't
pitchers
it?
he's facing?
Why are you hitting it less hard? Why are you hitting the ball less hard?
Maybe you're not seeing it as good. Maybe you're not
There's
used
just
to
no
it.
explanation.
Yeah, thank you.
The Royals
Cheaters.
are 27 and 28 on the road, so they've held their own. They're 37 and 24 at home. That is the best home record in the American League. It's the second best home record in baseball behind the Philadelphia Phillies.
What's the Guardians'
How
home
come the
record now?
Guardians are 35 and 20 on the road or at home
Yeah,
and
they're
32
in
and
fact,
27?
They have a better
A
record.
winning
at home.
record on the road? Wow, that's terrible.
Yeah, but how come they're not as good on the road as they are at home, Jeff? They're 15 games above 500 at home and only 5 games above 500 on the road. Why is that?
That's pretty because
No, it doesn't make any sense
the home
to me.
team's playing
It doesn't
at
make
home.
sense.
They bat
They
last.
should be the exact same.
Why
they
have
should be
they
the
lost
same.
5 in a row?
Because they're terrible.
See
See what
Yeah.
we're dealing with?
Exactly.
A complete psycho.
Just me. It's
I
unbelievable.
mean, seriously, you're a nut.
So, score.
You
Get
don't
a hit.
You don't have anything to back up anything.
Just put
You're
it out
just-
there.
It's all about emotion.
It's for someone smarter than me to figure out. Then I guess why that would happen.
Get Saris on the show.
Okay.
We'll ask him.
Okay.
No, really, get him on
I
next
will.
week.
I'll get him on right now.
No, you won't.
Oh,
we got a
Get
full
him on
show
right
today.
now.
Duda, tell him how I get.
Oh, yeah, he can get him on. I'll give him that.
Here's what we have today on the show at 2:25. Baylor football preview with Zach Smith from the Waco Tribune. We'll talk about the Bears at 2:45. Melvin Lister, he's going into the Kansas Sports Hall of Fame in October. One of the great track athletes to come out of Kansas from Leavenworth High School, Butler Community College, the University of Arkansas, and a former Olympian, Melvin Lister, will join us at 2:45. And at 3:25, we'll talk about Jeff's favorite team, the Oklahoma State Cowboys,
I thought Duda has a game. Can we
with Tyler
replace
Waldrop
this?
from the Tulsa World.
Can't-
You can do his game at 3.
We got 3 guests when we have this level of entertainment. You got to book the show better. You got to understand what people really want.
Jeff, you're off
And
to
they
a
don't
horrible
want Baylor
start.
football.
Nobody cares about you.
That's fine.
I
Let
do.
Duda and me
I
do the
care.
show.
Thank you.
It would be so good if you and I did the show today.
Why?
We wouldn't have to talk about
No.
the Guardians.
I like it. I
Thank
like
you.
talking about
We
the
wouldn't
Guardians.
have to hear this whining.
I enjoy it. It makes me feel better about myself.
Uh-oh, Parker stumbled.
So, Jeff, that's what you got.
What?
You're helping Duda feel better about himself
As he should.
I
with
love
your pathetic behavior.
I don't know if it's pathetic. It's
Why
sad.
are you coming to his defense?
Just cause. Just cause.
Pick a
Sometimes-
side.
You don't got to pick a side.
Because he gets it. That's why.
I get it.
I don't
That's
think
right.
you
I
do
get
get it. Anyway, we got 16 Big 12 previews to do. I gotta get them done.
But come on. Read the room.
16.
It's fun to talk football.
Is it?
Yes, I enjoy it.
Duda?
Either way. I'm fine.
I mean, we're in Big 12 country.
We sure are. Which is now the entire country.
Basically, you are correct.
Every part of the country is Big 12 country.
I like talking to guests. We've got Duda for this segment. We'll get him into the top of the hour number 2 with a game, and we'll go from there.
Is it password?
Yep. Had to be.
Why?
When we went out to the pump house, we had one of the listeners come over and said that he really enjoyed it. And so I said, next time I'm on and I have to do a game, I'll do password.
Do you think he's
again.
listening?
You bet.
What was that guy's name? It was Dino.
Dino.
Remember Dino?
That's right. I
Dino,
remember
if
Dino.
you're listening, thank you. Thank you for inspiring us, and I apologize for Jeff here.
So I will be. I said I'd do it, so I did another password.
That's exciting.
Wow.
Now I'm going to go out with my wife tonight to have some dinner and not worry about
Where
the
are you
Royals.
going tonight? Did you go to Leakers last night? What did you
No.
end up doing?
Felipe's,
Last night we
right?
just got a hamburger.
What from?
Brahms.
That's not bad.
They're
Double bacon cheeseburger.
Their bacon cheeseburger is
They're
the
unbelievable.
best.
They are good. They're good.
Sure.
It's the best, and I'll say that, and I feel good about it.
We went out to Jason's, not Jason Duda's house, but Jason's Deli last
Well,
night.
you're stuck on your 3 or 4 places.
Not really at all. But I felt like a sandwich last night. I went and had one.
You're stuck on your 3 or 4.
You know, they've named a sandwich after me
Sure they did.
at Jason's.
And tonight we're going to try Culver's. What do you think about
You
that?
build your own sandwich. I called it the Jeffrey. Just let me do the punchline. Culver's is the same as Brahms. Why would you go to the same?
Culver's was all right. We went.
Oh.
Actually, I had the fish and chip. The fish and chips were good.
Well, we want to
burgers-
try a new place.
The burgers were fine. Nothing. I didn't think it was like, wow, I can't wait to go back to get one. But they were good. But I'd get the fish and chips again.
What's that other place on Maze Road that recently opened? That
What, Popeyes?
No. Come on, I don't.
Did Popeyes just open on Maze?
Yeah.
That restaurant. What
kind of restaurant?
That restaurant on Maze Road, right?
You know how many restaurants are on Maze
Right
Road?
where you live, on that side of the street.
Sickies.
Yeah, we love that.
Did you? I haven't been in there yet. My son went. He loved it, but I haven't been there yet because it's packed all the time.
We loved that.
I've heard it's good. Everybody of the 8 or 10 people I've talked to say it's really good. I've had one guy that said it was not.
Huh.
So
Well, you're always
Is it
going to have that
barbecue?
one guy.
bad day, right? It
no, it's not
happens.
barbecue. It's a restaurant.
Yeah, burgers, and they got a bunch of stuff.
They got every
a sit-down
burger.
place?
You think of a burger, they got it.
They got every burger you can think of.
Well, I can only think of one burger, and
Any
that would be
topping.
the burger.
Any topping you want, they got it.
Okay.
You name it.
It's really good. I got I had them put an egg and some bacon on. It's like a breakfast burger.
Well, you have to have egg on a burger is the best.
It was great.
There you go.
I'm not going to put egg on my burger.
What? You got it.
I just don't feel it.
Once you put an egg on your burger, you'll never want a burger without
I
an egg
believe
again.
that, but I'm not ready for it yet.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And
I
they
believe you.
And they put hash browns.
That's too much. That's
Oh,
not
no,
at that point.
get
That's
her
not
going.
even a burger. That's just a plate. Just a
was
plate
good.
of stuff that happens to be
No,
a
it wasn't
burger.
hash browns. It was tater tots.
Same diff.
But it was really good. The way they did it.
I believe you.
So you ought to try going there sometime.
Maybe. Depends on if they have gluten-free buns for some of us who have restrictions in my family.
Oh, you cracked me
Why
up.
is that funny?
That's you get so defensive.
I'm asking why it's funny. That's
No,
not
you didn't ask that. You said, "Why is that funny?"
I'm asking.
It's not funny.
Well, you're laughing.
Your reaction is funny.
What was my reaction? You laughed when I said if they have gluten-free buns. That was your reaction. What is that? What is that a reaction to?
Hey guys, look at this guy. He's
And he called me a psycho.
gluten-free buns.
Why
and
are
he's
the fake
losing it.
laughing? I don't get it. I just don't understand what's going on over
No,
there.
that's funny. That's truly funny.
What? I don't understand.
I don't know
You're
either.
you're in a tailspin
What's
right
it,
now.
what is in your Quick Trip cup? You're acting unhinged. What?
Take over. He's
Take
killing
over
me.
for what? I don't understand why you're losing it.
I don't either. Are you okay?
He's in a free fall.
I am.
You,
It feels
what?
to me
You
like
almost cry. You're crying. And
I know,
laughing.
I'm-
like,
I'm-
what is going on?
I'm laughing so
All he
hard.
said was gluten-free buns.
I know that was it.
Look at you.
Say that again.
Gluten-free buns.
It's so funny.
Why?
Oh, good God.
Walk up to anybody and say, "Hey, you know of anywhere that's got gluten-free buns?" They will break down in laughter.
You figure?
Yes, try
Okay.
it. We'll try it after the. There's Ted Woodward over there,
You think Ted?
We'll
well,
bring
Ted
him
might find
in.
it funny.
and Jeff will say, "Ted,
No,
do you
I'm
know
not
of
gonna-
anywhere that has gluten-free buns?"
I'm not going to do that, in fact.
Okay, Duda will.
I don't think he will. We
Yeah,
are not,
dude,
we
why
are not
wouldn't
your
I?
wind-up toys to say whatever you want.
Duda will play along.
Yeah, I will.
You will.
Yeah, why wouldn't
You
you?
should be embarrassed.
Of what?
Just doing whatever he wants. That's sad. Ted!
Oh my goodness!
He walked by,
But
so I
I'll
wanted
holler
to
and get him in here. That a boy.
All right, back in a minute. We'll talk Big 12 football. We continue Big 12 previews. Zach Smith from the Waco Tribune will break down the Baylor Bears next.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show.
Joined on the hotline by Zach Smith. He covers the Baylor Bears for the Waco Tribune. Hello, Zach. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. It's never a bad time to talk about football. Let me get that in off the top.
It's not, for sure, and we're looking forward to a revamped Big 12 again this year with a bunch of new teams. And Baylor's got to figure something out. They're coming off a season where they were 3-9. They lost their final 5 games of the 2023 season. I think their coach, Dave Aranda, I think everybody would agree that this is kind of an important season for him. Where are the Bears as we get ready to kick this thing off?
Well, I think that I agree. Everybody agrees that Dave Aranda is kind of on the hot seat. He kind of needs to right the ship. But I think there's a lot of momentum with Baylor. Baylor played more freshmen. More freshmen had more snaps than any other team in the Big 12 last year. They had one of the worst defenses in the Big 12. So Dave Aranda, who had these great defense at Wisconsin and LSU, he's taken over play calling duties on defense. And so I think all of that, the youth getting a year older, some key transfers coming in, Dave Aranda taking over the defense, I think there is an optimism, in Waco and with Baylor. And, there's just a lot of positive momentum, despite how disappointing last season was for the Bears.
That kind of answers my question, but I'll play kind of the counterpoint. You obviously know more, but, you remake the offensive coaching staff. You take a big step in defense and have your head coach call the plays. They have a new quarterback. Is wholesale changes the right thing for this program at this time? And how could some of these results going negatively affect Dave Aranda's job status?
Well, I think we're going to know the first 4 games of the season. If they lose probably 3 of those, that's a big problem. Then we might not make it to the first bye week, and Aranda might be gone. On the flip side, those first 4 games, one of which is at Utah, which expects to be a Big 12 title contender. If they go the right way, man, I think that the schedule sets up for Baylor to really either grab momentum or lose momentum quickly. So I think these first 4 games that ends with a trip to Colorado and Coach Prime, their first game as a Big 12 school, it's going to tell us everything about kind of whether it's working, whether the changes are working, or whether it's not, and whether Dave Aranda is going to have a job later this year or next year.
Well, and if you were to, I know we're looking into a crystal ball, but where do you think Baylor ends up finishing in this new conference with what seems like to be 45 teams in it? And how do you see the Big 12 shaping up this year?
Well, first for Baylor, I think I am kind of also optimistic, just being around the program as much as I am and seeing all of the freshmen taking steps. I have them finishing 7-5 overall. I have them going to a bowl game. Definitely not challenging for the Big 12 title, but I think they're going to make a bowl game. I think they're going to take that step, and I think Dave Aranda's job is going to be safe. As far as the Big 12 overall, I think it's really a 3-horse race between Utah, Kansas State, and Oklahoma State. And I really like Kansas State. I think Chris Kleiman, he builds a program from the bottom up, and that foundation is hard to shake. I think Utah, as talented as they are, there's still a lot coming into a new conference, and Oklahoma State is kind of, Mike Gundy's always unpredictable, and as good as Ollie Gordon is, Oklahoma State is always unpredictable. So I think Kansas State is the favorite, and I think for Baylor, I think they're going to make a bowl game.
We are talking Baylor Bears with their beat writer from the Waco Tribune, Zach Smith. So tell us about this new quarterback. It seems like almost everybody has a new quarterback with the transfer portal now. DeQuan Finn out of previously played at Toledo, was the MAC Player of the Year last year. How good is he going to be, potentially?
I think he has the chance to, if he hits as he did at Toledo, he has the chance to push Baylor even further than my 7-win prediction. He's that good. He really shined at Toledo and really kind of proved that he could do it at the Division I level. Now, certainly the Big 12 is a step up. It's a new offense for him. It's a new offense for everybody. You know, they hired Jake Spavital, a former Texas State coach. He coached Johnny Manziel and had some really good teams at West Virginia when he was the offensive coordinator. So there's a lot of newness on the offense, but I think DeQuan has kind of grasped that and kind of ran with it. Now, I do have to say, a starting quarterback has not been named. So it's still, DeQuan Finn, I think, is the odds-on favorite to start, but Sawyer Robertson, he started 3 games for the Bears last year. And he kind of also got that gunslinger mentality that I know Baylor is looking to do this season. So it's not an official deal, but, I would be shocked if it's not DeQuan come August 31st against Tarleton State.
I've thought about this a lot, and I guess it's not necessarily specific to Baylor, but more of a general question. When you go into the portal to get a quarterback especially, do you think it's more coaches kind of going with what they know and hoping that the player adapts? Because you don't always necessarily get your first choice, or is it the player that has to adapt to the coaching and figure things out along the way?
I think it's a little bit of both, but I think that the coaches really have to find a player that fits what they want to do. And Jake Spavital, the new offensive coordinator, is bringing a new offense that's 180 from what Baylor has been running for the last 2 years. And I think of all the quarterbacks that were in the portal this last year, DeQuan Finn fits that probably better than anyone. He's got the ability to kind of get outside the pocket and make some plays, and he can obviously make some big time throws with flying a little bit more creative than kind of the ground and pound wide zone that Baylor ran for the last 2 years. So to answer your question, I really think that when coaches go into a portal, they're looking for the best player to fit what they want to do. And, on paper at least, it seems like Baylor's hit a home run with DeQuan Finn.
And, talking about the portal, is Baylor using the portal more now? Is that where they're going rather than recruiting? Because it always seems like now that people just go to the portal instead of trying to recruit these younger players because you never know if you're going to get to keep them or not.
Yeah, they absolutely are. I give Dave Aranda a lot of credit. This is his first head coaching job, and he's very upfront with the mistakes that he's made, and he admits when he was wrong about something, and that after the first couple of years, he won a Big 12 championship largely with Matt Rule's guys, and he didn't use the portal. He focused on recruiting, and that first year where it was really on him to build the program, he didn't use the portal, and Baylor suffered really bad because of it. And he admitted, I was wrong. So the last couple of years, they hit the portal really hard, and I think they brought in 14 last year. I think the number is 16 or 17 this year, and that on top of a much more focused and boosted NIL that Baylor has been focusing on for the last year has really given them some momentum, not only on the field, but in recruiting, in the portal, in just really everything overall.
Final question for Zach Smith from the Waco Tribune. We're talking about Baylor football. I've been around in the media here in Wichita forever. This is an intriguing Big 12 football race as I've ever seen. It's impossible to say who might win it. But with now the strength of the Big 10 and the SEC, is the Big 12 going to get any national run this year? Are people going to be talking only about these teams in the SEC and the Big 10?
That's and Commissioner Yormark, that's a great question. Commissioner Yormark at Big 12 Media Days was very aggressive with kind of the branding and kind of bringing the Big 12 along. And he, whether he can actually do it or not, he wants to make the Big 12 the number one conference, obviously. And I think he's the right guy to do that. But again, to answer your question, I think the thing that's going to drive people to the Big 12 is the chaos, right? Like that is fun to watch. Like, yeah, we can watch Georgia or Ohio State and all these talented players just pound, Rutgers and Vanderbilt. But when Baylor plays at Iowa State, that could be a barn burner. It could be the closest game. It could come down to a last-second field. You really never know how any of these games are going to go. And I think that once we get later into the season, that is going to draw eyes to the Big 12. That is going to be the greatest thing that the Big 12 has to sell is that parity right now. And it's just going to be so much fun to watch and so entertaining. It's what makes college football so awesome.
It's a good answer to that great question. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate it. Hey, it's really good to have you on. You're enthusiastic. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
All right, Zach Smith from the Waco Tribune. What are your thoughts on that? Because we see in the Big Ten now, I don't think the AP preseason rankings have come out yet.
Coaches poll has.
But it's going to be loaded with Big Ten and SEC.
Of course it will, because that's where most of the good teams are. Most of the traditionally good teams that you would think about being in the college football playoff, they're all in those two conferences.
Coaches poll, here it is. Your first Big 12 team is number 17, Kansas State. You've got, out of the SEC, you've got number 1, Georgia, number 4, Texas, number 5, Alabama, number 6, Ole Miss, number 11.
I thought Utah or somebody was ranked ahead. Or
number 11, oh yeah, Utah's 13. Number 11, Missouri, and number 12, LSU. All before you get to a Big 12 team, Utah. Utah 13, K-State 17, Oklahoma State 18, Kansas 24. So you still got 4 teams in the top 25.
Arizona's not
there.
But
none in the top 12.
Yeah, Arizona.
Arizona's 21.
See, you don't even, it's hard to even know, like, oh, you see Arizona, and you do not think Big 12. So it's weird. It's going to take some time to get used to. But, yeah, the two conferences that'll still be, and it's not just because Texas, Oklahoma, UCLA, USC. It's Alabama, Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, and the teams that have already been there.
The Big Ten, number 2, Ohio State, number 3, Oregon. Who would think of them in the Big Ten? Number 8, Michigan, number 9, Penn State. And then you go down all the way to number 23, USC, and number 25, Iowa. So anyway, I think it's going to be an interesting, fascinating college football season in many different ways. We got a 12-team playoff. We're going into a little bit of uncharted territory.
Yeah, plenty of opportunities. Go ahead, dude.
I'm looking forward to it.
It'll be interesting, no question about it. But like you said, it's going to take me a while just to remember who's in what conference.
Right.
And there is no Pac-10, 12, 8 conference anymore.
Nope.
Yeah, I want to see those teams scheduled. Washington State and Oregon State.
Well, look for it.
What are they doing? Like, what? Are they just playing as independents?
Yes.
Pretty much. They've come to some agreement with like the
Notre Dame, another independent. Why don't the independents get together and make their own?
Maybe they should.
Well, someday
may as well.
They play Portland State, Texas Tech, Washington. Glad they kept that game. San Jose State, Boise State, Fresno State, Hawaii, San Diego State, Utah State, New Mexico, Oregon State, Wyoming.
That's not a horrible schedule.
No.
You could potentially get into a playoff with a great record in that.
Well, if you run the table,
what team was that?
That was Washington State.
Here's Oregon State's schedule: Idaho State, San Diego State, Oregon, Purdue, Colorado State, Nevada, UNLV, Cal, San Jose State, Air Force, Washington State, Boise State.
Strange.
Okay.
Yeah, they're trying to put it together.
Basically a Mountain West schedule.
Yeah.
Melvin Lister joining us on the IHOP hotline. Melvin is going in, well-deserved, to the Kansas Sports Hall of Fame, the 2024 class. That ceremony coming up on Sunday, October 13th in Topeka. Melvin, a graduate of Leavenworth, went to Butler County Community College, where he was one of the greatest athletes in the country, and then did his thing at Arkansas. Melvin, welcome. How are you?
How you doing?
We're doing well. So you were a jumper back in the day and an All-American jumper at many levels, an Olympian. How much are you enjoying watching these Olympic Games, and what kind of memories does it bring back for you?
I'll say this. For a long time, because I wasn't ready to leave the sport, I was a little bit bitter. But ever since my came to me and said that she wanted to jump, I've been enjoying it. I've been loving it. Man, it's a lot that's going on crazy with the Olympics right now. Things that we weren't expecting to happen. But yeah, it's been fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm really getting back into enjoying it now, really.
Yeah, I was going to ask you kind of about reflecting on that experience in the Olympics because, you know, I'm sure you probably wanted to go and dominate, but there's also the fact that you were one of the 15 or 20 best jumpers in the world, and I think that's amazing. Do you think about that at all? And what were some of, you know, you said you were kind of bitter for a while. How did that kind of leave a bad taste in your mouth, just your experience in the sport?
It wasn't the sport. It was just I wasn't ready to go.
Yeah.
I hadn't accomplished the things I wanted to accomplish. I mean, I did do a lot. The sport was good to me. I wasn't ready to go. But I enjoy it. I truly love track and field. I've come to realize that was my first love. That's, you know, before any girl.
Thanks for clarifying that. I appreciate it.
And when you say you weren't ready to go, was it just the thing that the body wasn't able to do what you wanted it to do, or was it a mental aspect, or what happened there?
Yeah, just nagging injuries that last longer and longer. You know, as we get older, we don't heal as well. You know, just things like that. You know, and you know, it was just hard. It was hard to walk away. It was hard to say, you know, I've got to go ahead and hang it up. But I think person needs to know when to go ahead and hang it up, because I think at points you can only do damage to your name. You know, you want people to remember you for the good things, and if the last thing you did was terrible, to remember much else, because, you know, people just tend to remember the bad things.
Talking with Melvin Lister out of Leavenworth, a 1996 graduate, went on to attend Butler Community College, where he won 5 individual national championships across 2 seasons, 2 more national championships as a part of a distance medley relay team. So you were an all-around track athlete. What enticed you to attend Butler Community College after your high school career?
I went to Butler intending on playing football and running track. At that time, you couldn't have told me I wasn't going to be a football player, an NFL football player. The great coach Shebes redshirted me. He gave me an ultimatum. He said 2-a-days and missed the World Junior Olympics in Sydney, Australia as a 10-year-old, or go like me, my World Junior Olympics, you know, and miss football. And I don't feel like that was a decision. I feel like that could have been the time I got the chance to do that. So, you know, I talked with my parents, and we decided to go do that. And then I just lost love for football at that point. So I was at Butler, and I loved my coaches. I mean, Fred and Coach Tornaden and Coach Neubauer got on the internet. They did everything they can to try to get me whatever they needed as far as to coach me. And it was fun, so I stayed there.
So you cut out a little earlier. Did you say it was your daughter who came to you and said she wanted to jump?
Yeah, that just lit up my world.
Tell us about that. How did that all happen, and how have you been working with her?
So my son didn't want to run track. They both had something else in mind, and you know, then at 10 years old, 3 years ago, my daughter came to me and said, you know, Daddy, I want a long jump. And I don't know, that just ignited something in me. And she's good. I think she's only lost twice since she's been jumping. She was the number 113 country this year, at 18 feet 1 inch. And she easy to coach. She does what I tell her to do, and it's just working out. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I wasn't supposed to win an Olympic medal because I was supposed to coach her to it. I don't know, but I'm enjoying this. It's just on all parents to be able to help your kid in something that you love.
And before Jason asks his question, where do you live now? Where is she competing?
Oklahoma City.
Okay. Get back up to Kansas, man.
We actually competed. We came up to Leavenworth, and she won the 100, the 200, and the long jump up there this year.
Wow.
And we're up there next year. And I think we are going to look at some track meets up in the area as well, because that's only 2.5 hours from us. So
yeah, I was talking about moving back, but that's fine.
I don't know. So far, Oklahoma has been good to my children.
Okay.
So, but what I will say is, I will forever be great at Kansas. Kansas was good to me. I started playing sports like that. The first thing, I'm on the front of the sports page, for football. Kansas is a good place to play sports for kids. And everywhere in Kansas, they just motivate kids to play.
I'd like to go back to, obviously, was there something that happened when you qualified? How did you feel when you qualified for the first time to go to the Olympics? Do you remember exactly what happened? Was it the last possible situation where you had to get to the line first or jump first or your last jump? Can you just go back and tell us a little bit on how that all came about and your feelings for the first time to be an Olympian?
Well, the first time I competed against guys I competed against all year in the long jump. I feel like that was really no surprise. The second time was the sweetest for me because I wasn't expected to do as well as I did in the triple jump. And I had just got like 5th or 6th place in the long jump a couple of days before. So I'm going into this triple jump. And I hadn't really triple jumped that far in a couple of years. So I get out and I get this massive 2.5-foot PR. Now that right there, I can't even explain the feeling. I jumped up and down like a kid. But just to make the Olympic team, competing against so many people that are putting their lives into this, change our lives around to compete, to work out, to make sure that we're in shape for this one moment in time. So really, to make anybody that makes an Olympic team, my hat's off to them because it's hard work. Every year we train for championships, and they're not as sweet as the Olympics because you only get one chance every 4 years to do that.
Yeah.
So to make it twice is just, it's a dream come true type of situation. It didn't turn out like I would have liked, but I've got to be thankful for the fact that I was able to do it twice.
Melvin Lister is our guest out of Leavenworth, Butler Community College, University of Arkansas, where he was a 4-time SEC individual champion, 5-time NCAA champion. Just an incredible list of accomplishments. But I'm hearing, Melvin, that even above all of this might be the food truck you operate. Tell us about that.
Me and my family have a food truck. We started out doing baked goods. My wife's family are a family of bakers, and it started out wanting to do Christmas without using credit cards. Wife baked pound cakes, different flavors of 28 different flavors of pound cake, and we started well, she started this. She started going to barbershops and hair salons and car repair places, and then after a while I started going with her, and then we started going to festivals doing this, and then we got a food truck, and our family just operates this food truck on our spare time. Yep.
Well,
it just morphed into something we weren't expecting, so.
How about
Good
that?
stuff.
Life's full of surprises. Another reason we'd like you back in Kansas. Hey, Melvin, it's really great to talk with you. I admired your career from afar while it was going on, especially at Butler Community College. Just an incredible athletic accomplishments. Congratulations on going into the Kansas Sports Hall of Fame. I'm sure that's an incredible honor for you.
Thank you. Hey, guys, I just wanted to say hi to my friend Harris. That's a good friend of mine, and I hope he's listening right now. What's going on, Denver?
There you go.
Denver Harris.
Denver Harris?
You know him well.
Harris, yeah.
I know Denver very well. Just saw him this week.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to junior college together. We were at Butler together.
I hope you were a better student. Melvin, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
All right, Melvin Lister being inducted into the Kansas Sports Hall of Fame coming up in October. Back in a minute.
Radio you can touch.
Showtime. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz,
Feels like old home week.
I know what you mean.
Jeff Lutz,
Definitely old home week when you're here.
I hear you loud and clear.
and Jason Duda. For today, anyway.
It's old home week?
Are you saying I'm old or that I should be in a home?
Yes.
Alrighty then.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Stand by for action.
All right, welcome back. The Bob and Jeff Show, KFH Radio. Jason Duda with us. Three-man booth today. Max Power producing, engineering, gleaning good stuff from hour number one,
I
including
don't know about good.
gluten-free buns segment that will go down in history
The gluten-free buns.
No, it won't. It'll go down for today, and that's probably about it.
as one of the best segments we've ever had. We've got a game with Jason Duda. Max?
Time to play the game. Time to play the game.
All right. We're going to play Password again.
When I get
Dino,
out,
you're welcome.
It's become a staple of the show.
It is.
when I get out to like a 7-1 lead like I usually do, let's just call it at that point. We can say it's a skunk rule or
Didn't
something.
I come back and win the last time he got out to a
not
good
quite.
lead?
The time before that you did, but not the last time.
Yeah, that's true.
But I came back and made it interesting.
Of course.
All right, so what do we have?
Kind of like Bobby Witt hitting at home, right? It's just, once I'm ahead by that much, it doesn't really matter.
When Jeff says things like that, be assured, ladies and gentlemen, the Guardians are losing.
Just barely.
And they are. Okay, what do we have?
Okay, well, what is it? That's all it is.
What is it?
What is it? And you guys should be able to figure it out after a little while.
Jeff, you go first.
You want the first clue or the second clue?
Of course I want the first clue. You know I'm a master at solving these in one.
Okay. Net.
Volleyball.
Ball.
Tennis.
Goalie.
Hockey. No, it's ball. What an
Stick.
idiot.
What?
Stick.
Net,
ball, goalie, stick.
field hockey.
Correct, Bob.
I said hockey.
Yeah, it's not field hockey. It's not field hockey. Figure it out.
You got to
Jeff.
say be more specific or something.
No,
That's
you
garbage.
get one guess.
I said
Thank
the
you.
name
You
of
get
the
one
thing
guess.
in the thing.
Thank you. Next.
One guess.
I'll go first.
You want the first or the second?
That's
First.
brutal.
You want the first?
Max
clue?
Judge.
Pitch.
Pitch. Card game.
Halftime.
Soccer.
Correct, Jeff.
Pitching.
1-1.
By the way, it's 4-2 now. I hate everything.
It is.
Good. Bobby Witt sends you his sympathy.
And Castro stole second, so they got a guy on second too. Minnesota does. I thought I'd throw that out there. Just because it's fun now.
No, you probably have some fantasy idiot on there or something.
Oh, I have an idiot on there, and I want to get rid of him.
Who is it?
I got Thomas. Thought he'd maybe
Lane
help out.
Thomas? He's awful.
He's terrible.
All right, next.
Okay, Jeff, you want the first clue or the second clue?
I'll go second this time.
I got such a track record of getting the first.
Look what I do to him. He melts down.
It's important that if you're picking first or second in some of these, it makes a big difference. So
all right, go.
You're first. Net.
Good God.
I know this is good.
Water polo.
You are correct.
Oh my God! Shut up. I hate it. This is the worst day of my life.
He's got your stick.
He figured it out.
All right,
I'll go second.
You want second? Okay.
Net.
Music.
Rhythmic gymnastics.
New
music.
Well, they're two different words. Music and then new. Two different.
Not necessarily new music.
No.
Music and new. Yeah. No clue. Pass.
Olympics.
Snoop Dogg.
Dancing.
Music, new.
Olympics.
Dancing. I don't know what that's called.
Okay. First time.
Breakdancing.
Well, breaking, I'll give it to you.
Ah, man.
You should have
commented on it.
You should have had it.
I used mind control to take the answer out of his brain.
You want first or second?
Second.
All right.
I don't think you can do it again.
Heavy.
Weightlifting.
You are correct.
God, are you serious? That's so easy.
You should have took first.
Yeah, I probably should.
Well, you get mad at yourself.
I'm mad at you, actually.
Thank you.
Are you? Okay, well, let's go back to this then. Okay, who's
now
up?
He's got to go.
3, 2.
I'll go second.
Net.
Ball.
Look, Olympic sport with a ball. Golf.
Set.
Oh my.
Volleyball.
Net.
Tennis.
Spike.
I said.
I know what you said, but it's not the right answer. It's not the answer that you need to say.
Women's volleyball.
Beach volleyball.
Sand.
Oh,
Sand.
That's beach volleyball.
That's beach volleyball.
No, he doesn't get that.
Yeah, he does.
What do you mean I
Beach
don't get it?
volleyball. Beach volleyball.
Why wouldn't I get it? Look at him trying to keep score over there.
I got it. It's 3-3. It's a battle today.
Is that what you have?
Jeff, first or second?
I'm putting the heat on him again.
Oh.
You can't do it 3 times. First. Net.
All right. Ride.
Equestrian.
Swim.
Ride and swim. Water polo.
Run.
Oh.
3 seconds.
Gosh darn it. I know.
Time.
Decathlon.
Triathlon.
Correct. Jeff.
Doggone it.
All right. 4-3, Jeffrey. Bob, first or second? Okay. Duel.
Fencing.
You are correct.
No.
Jeffrey.
Yes, sir.
No way.
Yes, sir.
5-3. He just jumped ahead of you. Just like that.
Jumped right ahead.
Most obvious clue with number one.
Sometimes
If
that's the
somebody
way
was
it works.
producing this game for you,
you should have
they'd
picked
fire
one.
your ass.
Yeah,
should've
you wouldn't
picked
be
one.
you wouldn't be a good host of the regular password.
You should have picked
this
one.
This show wouldn't last more than a week on the air.
Oh, well, I guess that's why I'm only here once in a while. Figure it out, Bob.
That is why. You're good.
Exactly.
That's a good call.
So, Jeff, you want first or second?
Yeah, I want to go first.
Run.
Pole vault.
Long.
Run long.
Yeah.
Marathon.
Jump.
Hurdles.
Water.
Steeplechase.
Correct. Well done. See, some are a little tougher, some are easier. You just got to pick the right one.
That hurts my feelings that he got that. That is so cheap.
All right, that's 5-4. So, Bob,
I'll
it's
go
your
second.
pick. All right. Twist.
What was it?
Twist.
Twist.
Jeff.
Rhythmic gymnastics.
Spin.
Spin and twist. Diving.
You are correct.
Spin and twist.
Ties it up.
Great clues.
Those are some of the worst clues you'll ever hear.
All right.
How'd I get it then?
I don't know, because you're on some weird wavelength with stupidity.
All right, Jeff. You want first or second?
Second.
This will kill him. This will kill him.
Well, not really. He probably should get this after the second one.
Thanks a lot.
Heavy.
Again?
Yeah.
Again.
Yes.
No clue. It can't be weightlifting, so.
No. Throw.
Oh, my God.
Well, you got three chances. I'll go with shot put.
Well, of course. It's not shot put?
Far.
What?
Yeah, far. Heavy, throw, far.
Heavy, throw, far. Oh, what's that called? Hammer throw.
You are correct.
God, it could have been discus, could have been hammer. You're on the worst.
Discus isn't heavy.
I don't know what's
discus
heavy. I've
isn't
never
heavy.
thrown a discus.
Well, then, why are you telling me it's wrong then?
I've thrown a discus. It's not that heavy.
Then why are you throwing it not as far as the hammer, apparently?
Have you ever seen a hammer? Have you ever tried a hammer? No, you don't know it, so never mind.
I've thrown a shot put, and you wouldn't believe.
And the score is 6-5
for Bob.
Yours truly.
Bob, you are up first. You want first or second?
Second, I'm killing this.
Flexible.
That's
for Jeff.
Rhythmic gymnastics.
He keeps going there.
Powerful.
Flexible and powerful. Flexible and powerful. No clue.
Artistic.
Flexible, powerful, artistic. Simone Biles.
Bars.
Flexible, powerful, artistic bars. The uneven bars.
Pommel horse.
Gymnastics.
Yes. Gee.
Those were the worst.
Those were awful.
Well, they weren't supposed to be easy. You guys whine when they're easy.
Some of them are
and then they
easy.
make it tough, and then
Flexible.
I don't like
Powerful.
it. I don't like it. All right.
Whose turn is it?
6-6. Jeff, you want one or two?
I don't think this is right.
Why?
Because didn't I go first?
Let's go.
6. So you would go first on 13.
Go.
Yeah, that's what I meant. First.
Drive.
Drive.
You are correct.
Oh, for crying out loud. Really?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Drive?
Yeah, that was the first one.
What was the second one?
Green.
Oh, my God.
That was the easy one.
I mean,
Well,
what
you
kind
got
of
it.
That was one of the
Well,
easy
there's
ones.
easy
Good job.
ones,
Good
man.
clues.
Fourth and fifth.
You got to be easy.
No, that was a good clues there. Good clues there now.
Sticks.
That's pretty good clues there now.
That's good clues there now.
That's the stupidest thing.
I got something to say here now.
Just want to say a few words.
I just want to say a few words here now.
Second.
You want to go second?
I'll go first.
No, it's too late.
I'll go first.
Card laid is a card play.
You want first?
Yeah.
Ball.
Oh, my God. Are you serious?
You should have went second.
Basketball.
Oh, he got it.
No, he did
He
not.
did.
You can't say ball when the thing is basketball.
Yeah, you can.
No,
It's
you
my
can't.
game. I can do whatever I want.
You just gave away the password in the word.
You'll like this one.
What do you want
Jeff,
to do?
You want one or two?
Two.
Pin.
Pin?
Yeah, pin.
Pin. Can't be golf.
No.
Wrestling.
You are correct.
Oh, I thought it was bowling.
See?
Well, are we tied again?
No.
And I'm up 8-7.
No way. That can't be true.
Okay, do you want first or
I'll
second?
go first. I'm rolling right now.
400 IM.
400 IM.
Yep.
Relay.
Freestyle.
Swimming.
You are correct.
Pretty
Oh
easy.
my God, that was so.
Yeah, I know. How didn't you get it? How didn't you get it?
These? What kind of a moron?
Just name an event in the sport, and I think you got it.
Yeah, like it should be pretty easy. You
What
figured
kind of
out
a
it's the
moron?
Olympics.
Shoot a basket.
You should
well,
know.
that could be
Why
basketball.
don't you work from most difficult?
Because it's no fun that way. I don't like doing that. And it's my game, so I'm going to do it my way.
Next.
8-8. What a battle.
It's a battle.
First or second?
Second, please.
Combat.
Combat.
Yep.
Judo.
Oh, you're going to be so mad. Ring.
Boxing.
Yes.
Oh my God.
9-8 for Jeff.
You
Whoa.
just give it away for Jeff.
Whoa.
Sometimes
it's
it goes
whoever
down like
picks
that.
first or second. That's why it's up to you. You got to pick the right
Some
one.
of these should go to 4 or 5. They should be
Some
hard.
do. Some don't.
Yeah, Mr. 400 IM.
Yeah.
Badminton?
I didn't do a badminton one. Dang it.
I'm talking.
I'll go second.
Net.
Oh, God.
No, okay, you going second?
Yes.
Net.
Grunt.
Grunt. Ugh. What sport do you grunt in? I think we've already done. I don't know if we've done tennis. Tennis.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, this is beautiful. What's it? 12-8, 4 something?
10-8.
That's it?
10-8 with 2 left.
Next.
It's Jeff. You want first or second?
It goes second.
Sand.
What?
Sand.
Sand.
Yeah.
Sand.
Sand.
Well, we've already done beach volleyball and golf.
Yeah.
No clue. Pass.
Run.
Sand run. Are there other events in the sand? Max, tell me. Max clearly knows what it is. Did he say it? Did he mouth it to you?
No.
Mouth it to me.
Hey, hurry up.
You got 3 seconds.
The sand run.
Leap.
Equestrian.
No.
You've got to be kidding.
They don't run on sand on the equestrian.
Track.
Oh, it's the high jump.
Triple.
Oh. Triple jump.
Yeah, that
You
works.
can't say triple.
Yeah, I can because it was the last clue.
Say
you only
3
get
then,
5.
you idiot.
You get
Thank
5.
you. Thank you.
Say
5,
3.
4. It's my game.
You don't say triple.
I'll do my game how I want to do
It's
it.
a bad way to do it.
Last
decides
one.
it.
You
I'll
can tie
go-
it up.
I'll go first. No, I'll go second.
You want second?
Yes.
Sprint.
100 meters.
Jump.
Sprint and jump. Well, it's got to be the hurdles.
Throw.
The decathlon.
You are correct.
Oh, so easy.
Yes, sir.
Sprint, Jeff is the champion. 11-9.
Oh, a convincing
battle.
victory. Even won by 2.
What a
That's
battle.
how it's done right there.
Oh, it's the greatest ever. Olympic sports, if you guys couldn't figure it out.
Gluten-free.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, it was.
Gluten-free buns.
Yeah, Mr. Melvin Lister,
So
he
mad
said
he
he was
didn't
bitter.
get
He's
it.
never
I love
met
it.
you. He
I
doesn't know
love
bitter until he meets Bob Luke.
Gluten-free buns.
I love
Is that an event?
It could be.
We'll be back. Tyler Waldrop joins us from the Tulsa World. He is Oklahoma State beat writer for that great publication. Tyler, hello. Welcome to our show.
Hey, how are you doing?
Oh, we're doing good. We're going to preview Oklahoma State. It looks like, on paper, they have everything you need outside of maybe a proven defense, but they got a lot of guys back on defense. It looks like they are primed to have a really good year. What could keep that from happening?
Well, I think this, probably the same thing that could impact most teams would just be an injury to kind of the guy. And for Oklahoma State, that's Ollie Gordon. So a lot's been said about Ollie. From a football standpoint, that I fully expect him to repeat with how successful he's been. I've heard some talk of just, maybe he might wear down with the workload he had last year. He led the nation in rushing. So I do think that's a concern. And obviously teams are going to stack the box, but I kind of think he's going to be successful even if they do stack the box. So I expect a big season from Ollie Gordon. That said, if he were to have an injury, there's almost no proven depth behind him. There's a transfer from Indiana who did great for them, but still wasn't a workhorse the same way Ollie was. So I think that's probably the biggest concern if you're an Oklahoma State fan right now.
What is it about, and you may disagree with this premise, but I think Mike Gundy is a topic and always. What is it about him that he seems to have a trance over Stillwater and that program? He said when Ollie Gordon got arrested, his punishment is he's going to play more. Basically, we're going to give him the ball more. And then he said he went out drunk driving 100 times. We've seen some other just crazy opinions. Nothing ever seems to stick with him. I know he wins a lot, but he doesn't really win anything. Is he just that valuable to that program that he's irreplaceable?
That question comes from my son who can't stand Mike Gundy. But go ahead, answer it, Tyler.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, I would say especially around this area, just in terms of Gundy's influence. I think that's the influence of the modern day, in most places, football coach. There's a couple areas where we could point to basketball coaches that have that same level of influence. But I think if you're a coach and you stick around, which is no easy thing these days, but if you're a coach and you're there 5 or 6 years, just by being there that long, you're going to accumulate influence. And, Gundy doesn't have the signature wins that we expect of these sort of household names. But, this is his 20th season leading Oklahoma State. But making it 20 years anywhere is a pretty tall task. So I think just the fact that he's survived and made it this long and that Oklahoma State has been successful under him, I think you're just going to accumulate sort of that amount of respect or prestige or whatever you want to call it, just over time almost.
With Oklahoma going to the SEC, how does that affect Oklahoma State? It's got to play into it a little bit, but what's the feeling there about that?
I think the interesting thing is that rivalry clearly matters, but for Oklahoma State fans, I think they're doing their best to, especially where football's concerned, move on. Oklahoma's, they're not going to play. There's not a reasonable path to seeing those two teams play anytime soon. So I think it's a game people probably wish, could be on the schedule at some point, but it's not. I think the biggest impact it's going to have is, it'll be interesting to see how recruiting shakes out. I personally think Oklahoma State is well positioned to become a face of the new Big 12. I think Oklahoma's gone, Texas is gone. Oklahoma State, in theory, on paper, should be positioned to win or compete in most of these Big 12 championship games coming up the next couple of years. If they can do that, can Oklahoma State's recruiting profile go up nationally? I don't know. I'm really interested to see that. That's what I'm interested to write about. And if Oklahoma struggles in the SEC, they're in a better conference. But do people want to go play for Oklahoma now that they're in the SEC if they're competing to be 5th, 6th, wherever they are in the SEC. So could Oklahoma's recruiting profile take a small dip? I'm really interested to see how that affects things in state and nationally with, the guys that are going to choose to play for these schools in the next 2-3 years.
Yeah, interesting. Tyler Waldrop with us from the Tulsa World. We're talking Oklahoma State football. Interesting schedule. We always like looking at this stuff. 3 non-conference games: South Dakota State, Arkansas, Tulsa, and then a home game against Utah, a road game against Kansas State. Many believe those 3 teams, you include Oklahoma State, are the 3 best in the Big 12. That's a really interesting way to start Big 12 play for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I count me among pretty much everybody. I'm looking at Oklahoma State, I'm looking at Utah, and I'm looking at Kansas State this fall for the Big 12. I might be jumping ahead. I think Oklahoma State is going to be in the Big 12 title game this year. But to do that, you almost have to go 2-0 to start Big 12 play. You need to beat Utah. You need to beat Kansas State. Because if those are the teams that are going to be in contention, you really want to have that, put them down 1 and have that tiebreaker over them. So, a huge crucial stretch. I think the opening games are really interesting. I think games Oklahoma State should take care of, but, South Dakota State winning the FCS just makes that an interesting game. I think going up against Arkansas, a regional opponent, a team that needs a win badly. I'm interested to see what, I have to imagine Arkansas in the first 3 weeks is pulling out all the stops to get some wins early. So I think the opening slate is going to be maybe more interesting than people expect, but I still think Oklahoma State should have the talent to kind of separate itself and at least get those wins early.
And K-State and Utah, interestingly, don't play one another this year. So for whatever that's worth. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about this offense. It's like they've got ages of NFL veterans, not just like NFL young players, but 7th-year quarterback, a bunch of 6th-year guys on the line. How much is that an advantage for Oklahoma State, just having guys that have seen everything?
I think that, and this is true of several positions, the biggest thing is the offensive line. I think there are 7 guys that started multiple games last season, and if I remember correctly, I think all of those guys might be 5th-year seniors or might be 5th-year players or older. There's a really good chance that whoever Oklahoma State's offensive lineman is at worst a 4 or 5 year guy this season, even with a couple injuries, even if they need to sub in some guys that maybe, we're not expecting to be the starters at the beginning of the season. So I think that's probably the biggest thing, is just experienced offensive linemen, a quarterback that's, I feel like as, been in college football forever in Alan Bowman. I think it's huge. I think the biggest thing that we've heard throughout the offseason is spring was more productive, fall is more productive, because we're not wasting any time we're not starting over. The freshmen, and Gundy was pretty honest about this the other day, the freshmen, it's kind of on those guys. They're going to need to figure out a way to make up time, because we're not starting at the normal start place for this team. So many guys are back. So many guys have been here forever. We're starting at, they're starting at practice 3 or practice 5. So if Oklahoma State can capitalize on that, hopefully start this season a little bit closer to game 2 or game 3, just in terms of execution. And maybe guys don't make the dumb penalties that sometimes you see freshmen make because they get confused or flustered. I think it could be huge. The experience is a big reason I think Oklahoma State will have a special season this year.
What do you think about, obviously, the new Big 12 with the 16 teams and teams coming in and all the teams moving and the different conferences? How do you see it all turning out? We talked earlier in the show about, Utah, I think, is ranked 13th in the coaches poll, and that's the highest Big 12 team. Do you see that as being the trend that will stay throughout the year?
In terms of Utah being the highest, or just the Big 12's best team?
Just with the SEC and Big Ten, and is that just going to be where everybody's going to be talking about?
Yeah, I think, and people around here they may hate hearing this, but whenever the Big 12 commissioner has spoken, he's been pretty clear. We feel we're the Big 12 is one of the top 3 conferences. In none of the interviews I've seen has he, made any statements on the Big 12 being the best conference. I don't think it's the best conference right now. So I do think, especially early on, all the attention is going to go to the Big Ten. I think it's going to go to the SEC. And I think whether you like what those conferences have done or not, they kind of deserve the attention. I mean, just look at, the Big Ten has Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, Oregon, Washington, and other teams. I'm excited to see how that conference shakes out. I'm excited to see how the SEC shakes out with Texas and Alabama and Georgia, and LSU. I think those conferences are interesting because of, just the sheer number of high profile programs they have. I think the Big 12 is clearly third in that list. But I think the thing the Big 12 does have going for it is Oklahoma and Texas are gone. So on one hand, you can go, oh, we lost sort of the faces of the conference. On the other hand, anyone in the conference right now, if they can get their act together, can say, can we become Oklahoma and Texas? And if any of these teams, I think, can win consistently over the next 3 or 4 years, I think they're just going to get vaulted into that top level. I think recruits will get funneled towards those programs. I think money will get funneled towards those programs because they'll be winning the Big 12. They'll be going to the playoff every year. And if you do that enough years in a row, you can build a, look what Dabo Swinney did with Clemson, basically at the start of the playoff era. I think there's at least 1 or 2 spots in the Big 12. If anyone can claim those spots, you can basically say, we're going to vault into the national conferences the same way Clemson did. And I think that's exciting. I think that's exciting for these teams. I think it's exciting for the Big 12. And I also think, as much as I kind of think it's going to be Utah, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, if you told me you could name 5 other teams in the conference, and if you said, they're going to be there, I wouldn't be completely stunned. I think it is a competitive league. So I'm really interested to see how the league goes this year, but 3 years out, I think that's when we're going to kind of see, how excited are people with these conferences. And that's, to me, is a lot more interesting than talking about it just in terms of this year.
Tyler, thank you so much. We appreciate your time talking Oklahoma State football, Big 12. We're excited for the season to begin. I'm sure you are as well. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank y'all so much. Have a great day.
Crazy train.
Crazy train.
Yeah, that's his biggest
That was
hit.
a hockey one that we used to come out to all the time when I was playing junior back in Canada. I know that one.
The train one.
That train one.
Yeah.
That train one. Yeah.
All aboard.
See, you guys knew what I was talking about.
We sure did.
Sure we did.
That'd be like one of your clues for password. For crazy
that's
train.
a good one.
Crazy?
That's unusual.
Train? Song.
Can I go home?
Yes, please. We don't need
Oh,
you.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, he's out of here. You got to wait for your computer.
Yeah, that's true.
Hopefully you'll be all right. I'm worried about you. Oh, he's leaving.
He is leaving.
He's quitting the show, folks. He gone. See you, Bob.
Bye, Mr. Professional.
Fun. It was fun while it lasted.
Cool shorts. You think I care that he's leaving? What do you want to talk about?
What just happened?
I don't know.
I don't think he got his keys. He didn't throw his trash away. What?
He just left everything.
He did. That's embarrassing. Did he even log out of his computer?
I don't think so.
Sad.
I don't know. What's
Sad
his
is
deal?
what it is.
What's his deal? What's his problem?
I don't know what the problem is, but, we were having a good time, and he talks about how I'm threatened by the 3-man booth.
I don't know.
We can't even have a conversation.
He can't even finish.
He leaves.
He can't even finish. That's what's upsetting.
Oh, he's back.
Like, as a professional, you'd think you'd finish the show, and then maybe after you'd leave. But not this guy.
I mean,
he's just gone.
Yeah,
See you later.
He didn't think we could handle it.
No.
And then when we obviously proved that we could, He's back.
He returns. Isn't that the truth?
What are you sitting there for?
Yeah, what why are you even here if you don't want to be here?
You going to talk?
You know that Jeff and I have done the show for longer than a segment before, correct?
Even longer for a day.
I know. It's crazy.
Longer than a week.
Months. We've done it months at a time.
And we did it pretty well.
Very well.
And
Not
that one
pretty
lady
well,
said, don't even bring Bob back. You remember that?
I do remember that. Catherine.
Wonder what happened to Catherine. Well, we don't hear from her now that Bob's back on the show.
Maybe that's why. It's tough to say. I mean, I honestly don't know for sure. I feel bad that Bob's upset. I don't know why, though. So
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't bother me because there's no reason for him to be upset.
Not going to lose any sleep over it.
I guarantee you I could have a nap in about 4 minutes. As soon as the show is over, sleepy time.
That's pretty much where I'm going.
I'm basically there.
Straight to the couch after.
Basically there. And I won't even think about Bob for the rest of the weekend.
Probably turn on some Olympics. Definitely not going to watch the Guards tonight.
There's no reason
chance
to.
of that.
If you don't want to watch any offense,
well,
then you can't watch.
They're on Apple TV. There's no sense in wasting my time. I do want to see how Alex Cobb pitches, but other than that, who cares? You got your beach volleyball final going on. Canada hanging on.
They're hanging in there with
16.
Brazil. Brazil was heavily favored in
You would think Brazil would be heavily favored. There seems like there's probably a lot more sand in Brazil. Is that true?
Nice sand, yeah, for sure.
What kind of sand game does Canada have?
You don't really get that kind of sand in Canada.
You wouldn't think.
It's more rocky and that sort of thing. There's a few areas where it's not bad, but not like in Brazil.
Who beat the U.S.? Was it Canada or Brazil?
Yeah, it was Canada.
How good did that feel?
Well, it was a win-win situation for me.
Yeah, but
I like cheering for the underdogs too, so I was kind of excited Canada beat them. To tell you the honest truth, they're coming out of the lucky losers bracket, which no women's team has ever got to the.
What does that mean?
Won
They had a
medal.
loss in the
during the
qualifying.
Qualifying, they have a lucky losers bracket, so 2 teams get to play for the last spot.
Okay,
and they got in, and now they're in the final.
And
never happened before in women's,
and could win the whole thing.
There's a chance. There's a chance.
It's going to be either them or Brazil, I think.
Brazil's tough. This is going to be tough. But they're hanging in there. I'm proud of them.
Is Canada, is this their moment in these Olympics? The 4x1, they won that. They could win beach volleyball. What else has caught your eye from the great country up north?
There's not a lot. The Summer Olympics really aren't our gig.
Yeah, winter.
Let's be honest.
Winter, you're going to clean up.
But the fact that we did win the 100-meter 4x1 relay today I was pretty jacked about that.
That doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't. Well, no, that's not true. They won it in 2016 or 20 in Tokyo. They won it one of the last 2 years.
Okay, well, sorry. It doesn't mean it's happened a bunch throughout history.
No.
But clearly Canada is raising its sprint game.
And then I think we ended up with a medal in pole vaulting.
Impressive.
I
don't know
we're
what
doing
would
good.
motivate
we're
someone
doing good.
in Canada to run.
Well, it's cold, so you can't walk. If you run, you warm up.
That's fair.
Especially in the winter when it's super cold, That's just the way it is.
I get it.
You should, Jeff.
Any final words from Bobby over there? Or is he?
I don't know. He's grumpy. I don't know what happened. It's
why
disappointing.
Pouting, man? Why you pouting?
What happened? Where'd it go? Oh, look at him. He doesn't think
he started the show.
He doesn't think we can handle it.
Then he laughed for years.
Gluten-free buns. Gluten-free buns, Bob. Gluten-free buns. Come on.
And now he ends it.
No, that's not even working. Wow.
What are you doing this for? We don't have any control over when the show ends. What is he doing?
I have no clue. I don't know. I haven't seen it before. What did we do?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
This is one of the strangest situations.
It is very strange.
Do you think
is he going to be okay to drive home?
I don't know. Do you think he's actually he's pacing now?
I know.
He's going up and down the hallway.
Nobody in Max doesn't know. Nobody knows. Listeners are probably wondering what happened.
It's been a strange show for Bob today.
It has. You think he struggled a little bit?
He's run the gamut of emotions. He was mad during the game. He's kind of irritable.
Lost the game.
He laughed his heart out. And now I don't know what's going on.
Gluten-free buns.
But he did get us talking about them.
Maybe that's what he wanted.
Perhaps. All right, that's our show for today. That's our show for the week. Are you back anytime next week, dudes? I might need you Tuesday.
I'll let you know.
All right, thank you. Thanks to Max Power. Thanks to our guests today. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Have a great weekend. We'll be back Monday. Hopefully Bob has ended his hunger strike or whatever he's doing. Later.
It's a great day to venture out in a spacious and capable Toyota SUV. Like the new RAV4. With available all-wheel drive, it can go just about anywhere. And with plenty of passenger and cargo space, you'll go from morning carpool to weekend road trip without missing a beat. Plus, with available features like wireless charging and a touchscreen interface, your Toyota RAV4 will keep you connected no matter where you're going. Or check out a spacious Highlander. With seating for up to 8, it's a hub for family adventure. You'll drive in comfort and style with available heated and ventilated seats and all the latest tech. And with available hybrid models, your new Highlander can save you tons on gas. Right now, your local Toyota dealer has more vehicles in stock and is making delivery on new vehicles almost every day. So don't wait. Buy a RAV4 or Highlander today. Visit buyatoyota.com for deals and more. Toyota. Let's go places.
Trying to figure out what to eat for dinner yet again? With Knorr sides and bouillon as your not-so-secret ingredient, you can skip the drive-thru and do dinner at home. Knorr Taste Combos provide a menu of delicious, affordable, and well-balanced meals that you can prepare in 30 minutes or less. Visit Knorr.com to get quick and easy recipe ideas for your home-cooked weeknight dinners. It's not fast food, but it's so good.